Welcome to Kf&Jf Podcast Show. I'm your host, Keith, and I'm so excited that you guys are here to join us today to uplift another small business here in Marietta. Today, we are in the city beauty supply and salon. You know, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to join us and be a part of our social media by subscribing and taking the time to really look at some of the things that we do with small business. Today, I'd like to take the time to tell you, here's our new guest.
Well, thank you, Keith. My name is Annie Peals, and I am the owner of In the City Beauty Supply and Salon. We have two locations. Today we're here in Marietta, the city of Marietta, but we're also located in MENIFEE. So I'll just kind of start there. Welcome.
Thank you, too. You know, guys, one of the things that we like to talk about in small business is how you get started and what prompted that. So tell me a little bit about what prompted you to get into business.
Wow. Okay. Let me see if I can think that far back.
Yeah.
Well, business for me has always been part of who I am. No matter how much I tried to get around it, I kept coming back to the same position, which was business ownership. I actually started by doing hair. I've been braiding for, probably about 40 years.
Wow.
I want to say maybe about a little bit longer, maybe close to, about 45, 46 years. And in my youth, I enjoyed braiding. It was a hobby. I loved doing ladies' hair and guys' hair and so forth. But at that time, I did not see myself as remaining as a stylist.
Oh, okay.
So once I graduated from high school, I said, it's business. And I started focusing on business, and I've pretty much been in that vein.
Wow. So
all the rest of my life.
Well, you did the school. I mean, all the things that you were learning at home, braiding hair and all of that stuff, it was just something that you did for fun, or what was the family? How did that all come about?
Okay, well, I wasn't really doing it for fun. I was doing it because I had a need to do my hair.
Oh, okay.
My father passed when I was very young. I'm pretty sure we may touch back over that again. But I had a stint where I was living with my grandparents, and my grandmother was older and she knew nothing about hair. Wow. And I was really a kid. And at that time, I was doing my own hair, and I just did not want to go to school looking crazy. So I learned how to braid. It was innately in me. I just started braiding at 7, actually. And I've been braiding ever since.
Wow.
Yes,
is this something that was hard for you to learn how to braid, or was it just something you just picked up over time?
You know what? I think I just picked it up from watching my sister-in-law, because I've been in the hair industry for a long time with both my family and my sister-in-law. She was a stylist as well, cosmetologist. And you'll be amazed of how much you pick up as a child just from being around other people and watching their occupations.
Wow. Talk a little bit about how many siblings in your family.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, my family, I have a very large family. For those of you that know me, and if you don't know me, I have a large family. There's a total of 14. I have 12 siblings with my mom, and actually 12 siblings with my mom and dad, and I have one stepsister. So
that's a lot of
very large hair.
That's a lot of hair to do.
A lot of hair, a lot of food over the holidays.
Yes.
A lot of family time, but I love it.
So you're married? You have at this point in life, or?
I am married. I've been married for 38 years. Wow. I am a mom.
Oh, right.
I'm a grandmother.
Wow.
I'm a great grandmother.
Wow. So,
Yes,
one of the things that I think about when you have a family and you have all this responsibility, how do you maintain trying to establish a business and get yourself in the position where you think that's something you want to do, with all these other things that are going on?
Okay. Well, for me, like I said, I've always had a business mind. I've always been business oriented. Even in my youth, I was kind of like an old soul, especially having that stint of living with my grandparents. I think it kind of made me even that much more of an old soul. So even though I'd hang out with people that were my age, it was like, she's just old.
Right.
I kind of had an old nature. But with that, I also was always business minded. Even as a kid, when I was in school, I always had a little side business, side gig, as we would call it. I was selling candy in school.
Right.
It was just innately in me to be able to do some type of business. And over the years, I've put my hands into a lot of entrepreneurial businesses. Being in the beauty industry, I've tried, you name it, Mary Kay.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Our barn.
Amway? Did you try Amway?
I did Amway. I've had just a number of businesses, but one thing I realize is that when it's something that you've learned in your life, you don't lose it.
Right.
Even as a youth, learning how to do hair and being around my sister-in-law, who was an amazing cosmetologist. Back then, we'd say just a hairstylist, a beautician. We call it beautician back in the day, but just being around her and learning just so many skills, it was something that I always kept with me. And it amazed me later in life to know that I branched off from that and went into corporate America, but came right back to what I would call my roots.
Wow. What was the schooling did you take any schooling in your craft and things like that?
You know what? I did not take schooling in my craft. I always stayed really into business, just the business side of it. So I have a degree, a bachelor's degree in business administration. I actually started out in accounting. Wow. And then I said, okay, this is too much paper and too much time in the office. I need to be able to do something that really connects with who I am. And getting into this aspect of business, was just naturally me.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about how are you a people person, or do you like to be around people so you can, talk to them, and especially with the business that you're in?
I am completely a people person. I'm sure I drive my husband crazy because I meet people everywhere. I talk to people everywhere. I believe not only is it's who I am naturally, but it's also who I am spiritually. Wow. So I'm always talking with people. I wouldn't say reading people, but just kind of feeling where they're at, because people are dealing with things in life, and I believe I'm an encourager. So I talk a lot because I might have a word to encourage them.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So talk a little bit about, you said that your faith and things like that. How does that play a part in who you are and then your business as well?
My faith plays, I would say, if I could give it 100%, I would. But I know that I'm also natural, not all spiritual. But my faith is it's my starting roots. I've always been in the faith in my childhood. My grandfather was a preacher, and he was a holiness preacher that, even though I rarely went to church with my grandfather, I watched his lifestyle. And from his lifestyle, he was like a Moses. So when it came down to the spiritual side of, what I know and being a Christian, being a believer, I just watched his life. And then when I was old enough to really understand more about church, now don't get it twisted, I rebelled, I did my things in life. But one of the things I saw was someone that truly loved God, truly had a heart for God, truly had a heart for God's people. And so, that's part of where the people nature comes from me. It's watching him. My grandmother, when I was about, I want to say 6 or 7, she was diabetic. And so she had her legs amputated. And that is what led me to actually end up living with them for a stint. Back in the day, I'm from a very small town in Arkansas. I'll give you a little bit more about my history. Very small town in Arkansas called MURRIETA. And growing up, it was just like common practice for you to take on these roles as children. And so, I was like, I don't know why I got to be the one that was picked to go live with the grandparents, but They lived across the street.
Oh,
Okay.
well, you didn't have to go far for that.
I didn't
Then.
have to go far.
Well,
I
that was
mean,
good too. You know,
yeah.
being able to be a part of that, life, because you know that they're going to teach you all of the things that you need to know about that. And so, what do you think are some of the big points that you got out of that, as far as your personality and who you are?
Well, I would say just because of the transitions that had taken place in our life at that time, it just made me be a person who not only care for other people, but really just have a heart for community. My grandfather, that was one of his strengths, was community, because he was a pastor, because he really had a heart for people. He raised gardens, he was a carpenter, so he helped build homes, and all of those things kind of flowed into part of my life.
Wow.
The other parts, of course, came from my parents. My father was an entrepreneur. He owned his own business. He owned an I guess you can call it an auto body shop. Thank you. And so, watching them, that's what I saw growing up. Of course, going to school, going off, learning my own skills and so forth. It made me feel like corporate America was the only way it was supposed to be. But in my youth, I've always saw entrepreneurship. I always saw people that genuinely love other people and, give, and, they were community people. And so
wow.
I believe that all plays a role in who I am today.
I think you mentioned a lot. It's just kind of one of those things. I like to ask you this question before we go into a commercial here, is that, what is it like, as a Black woman, growing up through that and having this, because there's all of these different things. It's hard for us. Talk a little bit about that.
Wow. As a Black woman, I believe that the strength of that would come from my mother. Watching my mother after my father had passed, and having, 12 kids, that were 13 with myself at home. Well, at that time we weren't all at home, but watching her and her resilience, and how that at that time she could have just really shut down and left life. They were young. They were both young. And so having that, watching her and all the things that she had to endure with the loss of my father, I believe that's part of that is where I draw a strong amount of my strength from. It's just knowing that despite the adversity in life, these areas get emotional for me, but
and it's important, because a lot of people that are out there are still trying to, especially women and kids and different things. They're trying to figure out who they are and we don't have those, those people in our lives like they used to be to teach our youth today. So, I really wanted to talk a little bit more about that. But you know what, guys, we'll be right back, and we'll take a break here, and we'll be back. Thank you guys for joining us again, and welcome back to In the City Beauty Supply and Salon. We were talking about family, and I'd like to know, is there anything else that you would like to talk about regarding your family that helped build you?
Well, I would say in regards to helping to build me to be the woman that I am today, and especially in the business aspect, was just watching the transitions after my father passed, and watching the things that my mother had to, the pieces that she had to pick up. And it was one of the things that I kind of vowed to myself that understand money.
Right.
Because when things happen in your family, regardless of how you're left, and my father, I mean, he left us in a pretty good position, but because my mother, she really didn't. I mean, they had a lot of children, but I never heard the word bill in my house.
Oh.
I mean, I was 7. Okay, maybe I just hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
But my father really was a provider, and he took care of that. But after my father passed, then I began to realize these were real things in life, bills and dealing with electricity and water and gas and all those things that I really never had even a second thought about. They became realities because my mother, even though she was a strong woman, at the time she didn't deal with that kind of stuff. My father really handled everything. So later she ended up going back to school and transition. And yeah, she really did have to transition. And I watched her in the things that she dealt with, and I said, you know what, whatever I do, which is what caused me to pursue accounting, I want to know how to handle money. I want to know how to be able to. I want to be the lender, not the borrower.
Right.
I mean,
wow, that's a powerful statement right there for our youth, is being the lender, not the borrower. Is that something that you feel like when you're in your business today, you're very cognizant of the money and making sure that you're spending it in the right way to promote your business?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm completely 100% cognizant.
Inventory is important to you.
Yes, it is. I mean, without inventory, you really don't have a business, at least in the business that I'm in, because we provide a service, but we also provide products. So you have to have products in order to do that. Right. And understanding that when you are a business owner, it takes money to make money. That's the old saying.
You can say that again.
Real.
You can say that again, because it does.
Money to make
money. It takes
money.
money to make
money.
So
in order to really launch yourself, you have to understand money, management, and then also, what to invest in. Really understanding your niche. And which direction you want to go with that. So.
Let me talk a little bit about, the business you have now, and talk a little bit about what the services you provide.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. The business now, we are a beauty supply. So we offer, I mean, if you look around, we have wigs, we offer products for braiding, every type of hairstyle we offer. If you're trying to do extensions and you want to do eye tips or wide tips, things that people probably rarely hear about, tape-in extensions, weaving extensions on weft. We do everything when it comes down to hair. Even if we don't do implants. So we don't do hair implants, but we do pretty much everything else.
Do you suggest those types of things out to people you may know in the field, or?
Absolutely. We work hand in hand because we do have a salon. So with the salon, we do all different types of services, colors, cuts, braids, silk presses, you name it. We do all those things. But more than anything, we want people to really feel beautiful in their own skin. If you want to wear natural hair, we want to just encourage you on how to maintain your natural hair. If you want to be a person that's doing a press or a relaxer or any other type of chemical, we want to make sure that you're dealing with the right people that know what they're doing. But more than anything, we want you to be comfortable in your own.
Wow, that's important. That's important, especially in this business. Can you talk to me or tell me a little bit about what makes your business different? Because there are other people out there that's trying to do different things. What makes your business different?
What makes my business different? I would say in this industry, being that we're in the beauty industry, first off, we're Black owned and we're Black operated.
Did you hear that?
I have to tell you that because in the hair industry, it's rare. You don't see a lot of Black owners, and it's difficult in this industry when you are a person of color. But one of the things about it is if you want to do it, you can. You can. No matter how much it seems like their doors are closed, money still talks. At the end of the day, it really does. So when I think about in this industry, if you want to do it, you can.
Right. I think that's one of the things, too, when you're saying money talks, is that you got to be able to put yourself out there, one, because it's your your money that you're doing to put
Absolutely.
yourself out there. And then two, you have to be able to have confidence in who you are in your business.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about you here in Marietta, you know,
Yes.
which is not used to having, you know, black-owned businesses, better law, black-owned beauty
Marietta or
supply.
MENIFEE for that
And
matter.
so talk a little bit about, was that a hard thing to get a space once you said, oh, you know, I'm doing this, you know, maybe they wanted to have it for some other type of business? Because some owners are picky as far as what they
Absolutely.
want in their strip mall or area. So did you
Yes.
find that to be hard as part of the business as well?
Well, I have to be completely honest. I was very blessed in that area because there was a pioneer who had already established
Oh,
this
okay.
business, and it would, you know, I would be beside myself to not say that Veronica Griffin was the original
Okay.
pioneer of braids in the city beauty
Okay.
supply,
Okay.
which later became in the city beauty supply. So, you know, I give all types of shout outs and props to Veronica for
Okay.
being the strong businesswoman that she is as well.
Was she a black-owned business owner as well?
Black-owned businesswoman. She's a teacher. She's an amazing sister. I mean,
Oh, wow, wow.
I love her. I just
Mentor
love
too,
her.
probably.
Wonderful mentor.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. And she had already tilled the grounds. So when I came along, it still wasn't completely easy because they were even selective about who they were going to allow take over her business.
Right.
They
Well,
were-
here in the community, or you're saying the city itself was selective
no, that
about
was
it?
more ownership.
Right, ownership. Okay.
But
Okay.
the city within itself, I mean, I don't know if they were even ready.
Yeah.
don't know if they were
It's
ready.
hard. It's hard to be ready for something like that. You know,
Yes.
it's a lot of you know, misnomers about, you know, black-owned businesses, either they're going to last or these types of things. So how long you've been in the business?
Well, this is my 8th year, and this business is the 16th year. So Veronica was had this location. This is the original location here in Marietta. Veronica had it for 8 years, and this is our 8th year here.
Wow, wow,
yes.
wow. Talk a little bit about what's new coming up. Anything new with any of your other businesses or things like that that you would like to let the people know as well?
Absolutely. Well, in the city, as you know, we are a beauty supply, and we do have 2 locations. We are located in MENIFEE as well. And our MENIFEE location, this is our 5th year there. So we are in transition, a soft transition, but transition. So we're not closing, but we will be relocating that store. We're going to be here in Marietta for a few months, and then you will see us again at a second location, either in Marietta or MENIFEE. So that's what's forthcoming
Okay.
as far as our business.
Okay.
And in addition to that, you'll probably see me branch a little bit more towards distributorship. So
Okay.
I'm able to mentor some of the other Black-owned beauty supplies
Right, that's
as
good.
much as I possibly can, so that you know, we can just find out how we can help.
Yeah,
You know, we
that's
want them to
great.
be strong. We're not in this just for us. You know, one of the beautiful things about this is we're able to offer jobs.
Yeah, wow,
You know,
yeah.
and
That's
to our
you know
communities.
what? That's another part I like to talk. What is it like being the boss, or being able to have that position to, you know, be a part of people's lives? You know, being the boss is one part,
Yeah.
but being a part of them growing as well in their lives. How's all that? How does that? You know, I know it's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility, but I love it. I love it because I feel like I'm actually walking in the vein that I was created to walk in. I want to make a difference in someone's life. You know, whether it's a stylist or whether it's a store owner. You know, I have other businesses that I mentor, and you know, I love that.
Wow.
I love the fact that I can help somebody, one more person get a paycheck.
Right.
Okay, I
right,
love
right,
that.
Right. Do you think you'll be, you know, branching out to other communities, LA, you know, San Diego, other places like that? Would you be branding yourself in those places as well?
I will be branding myself in some other places. Currently, we're looking into Las Vegas. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, yes. And just a couple of weeks ago, we partnered with a store that's in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say a couple of weeks. I think they've been open maybe about 5 or 6 weeks now. But JTB Beauty Supply,
Oh, wow.
they're located in Jacksonville. And so we just opened up that store. We're so excited about that.
Wow, wow.
And, you know, we love it. In addition to being Black-owned and Black operated, we also connect with military people. I'm a military wife, and so my husband did 20 years in the Navy, and so I'm always looking for opportunities to connect with other military families to start businesses. So this family is a retired military family that started a business in Jacksonville.
And that's big to be able to
Yes.
do that, because some of the wives they stay home and different things. They don't know, they're trying to find their niche and what they can do, and that happens. Talk a little bit about the community work you do. I know you do a lot of community work. I've seen it. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, the community work to me is twofold. I feel like I have a responsibility when it comes to that because I do have a platform. Everybody doesn't have a platform to really connect with the community, but I do. And so, I connect with my business as well as with my church family. My church family, I attend at Family Worship Center, Church of God in Christ. And I'm just called. That's what I'm called to do. I'm called to help where I can help. One of my passions is young moms. I was a young mom before I got married. I was 16 when I had my first child.
Okay.
So I always try to encourage young moms that, even though you feel like you can't make it or you feel like you're alone, you're walking this walk alone, you're not alone. You're not alone. I believe in villages. Outside of having a strong big village myself with my family, but I believe in villages in the community and connecting with, whether it's maternal health. I volunteer and do different things with Black Maternal Health and just other organizations. We are here.
Wow. I mean,
We
that is so.
are here.
That is so powerful.
We are here. And
That's so powerful. I really, I like to ask you this question too. What do you say to those young women that are out there that are trying to navigate their lives? Whether they, are young and have been pregnant, or they're trying to start a business, or they just feel like they're not fitting into, because they're young Black women and they have all these different issues that people think. What can you say to them?
Okay, so there's twofold because I'm a believer. It's who I am. I make I'm apologetically a believer, okay? So, the first thing I would want to do is encourage them to, there are churches all around us.
Right.
I mean, they're not on every block, but there are faith-based churches around them. And I would say connect, because there you'll find someone that can, help undergird you. You can find people that will, if you don't have a personal village, that will be a village for you. And you can also come to know Christ, okay? Whether you're there or you're at home or whatever, hey, like I said, I'm a believer. That's one of the things I would say first. And then from a natural standpoint, just, find out what are the resources that are available to help you at the point you're at right now. Right. So as you're moving forward, you don't have to stay there. You do not have to stay there. At 16, both of my parents were gone. And, I'm grateful that I'm so blessed to have had one of my older sisters and her husband that took guardianship for me and my two younger sisters, because my parents still had children at home when my mom passed. And with that, it's nothing like having someone say, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
especially when you're feeling you're young, you trying to date, but that ain't the right situation because you're too young, or you're pregnant and you don't know, what resources that I can connect with. I mean, I don't know how many communities that Black Maternal Health is in, but I highly recommend it. I highly recommend Black Maternal Health. They have such wonderful programs for young moms. A lot of times they may even have to be in pregnant minor programs where they're in schools. Like in my case, I came to California and I started out in Mira Mesa. And Mira Mesa at that time, they were like, well, we don't do that. Okay, we don't do pregnant minors here. Right. So you have to go in. They didn't. In other words, they were telling me you have to go to a school that can actually accommodate you. We can't accommodate you, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's about getting the resources that you need, and knowing that you don't have to stay there. Right. Once you get those resources, whatever you do, don't be settled with that. Know that who you are called to be. Go walk at your dream. Go walk at your purpose.
I just
it's
love
a
that.
must.
I love that. Walk out your dream, because that is something that we all should be striving to trying to do in our lives. You know, I know. Is there some other things that you like to mention to the audience that I did not discuss, and maybe you want to tell them directly?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, my life is so intricately woven with so many different facets, but I would definitely love to, just encourage young women, not even just pregnant minors, but I would love to encourage young women in general. A lot of times we don't always feel beautiful, we don't always feel safe, we don't always feel like we have what we need, but know that you can get assistance, you can connect. I look at this platform as being a platform for me to do that, to connect young people or even older people to things that maybe they don't know about in the community. When you come to our stores, a lot of times we will have a community board with all different types of services. It's not just about us, our four no more. It really is about us getting information into the community, helping where we can help. Last year when we had the fires, we had different sales and we were able to donate clothing and stuff. And even though it's a beauty supply, we were able to donate clothing to families that were in part of the fire victims. So whatever it is, wherever our hands can find its way to help, that's what we want to do. From a business aspect, if you are considering being a business owner, especially if you want to be in retail, you have to just count up the cost. Count up the cost. Once you count up the cost, which means look at the big picture of what it is that you bring. If it's something that's really going to be a niche that's going to make a difference, because we want you to succeed. When you bring that and you know what it costs to get started, you know what it costs to operate. That's called operation, the cost to really build your business. And then know that you're not going to make any money right away. So if you get into a retail business and think you're going to be making a whole lot of money, you're really fooling yourself, right? Because it really does take money to make money. Most of the time we have businesses, we start pulling the money out and we start using it. We start paying ourselves right away. And once we're paying ourselves right away, we're really not able to reinvest into our businesses. So we just have to know that in the beginning, the investment for you, even though you don't want to pay yourself last, you start out paying yourself last. Yeah. And then you bring yourself back to the front. Right. So I just wanted to just share a few of those nuggets with you.
I think that's so important, and I appreciate that. And I know our audience would appreciate that too. Tell them a little bit of where your locations are, your email address and phone number and things like that, if you wanted to be able to do that.
All right. Well, today we are sitting in the Murrieta location. This is the in the city Murrieta. And we also have in the city MENIFEE. In the city Murrieta, it's located on Jefferson in the city of Murrieta. We are at 26305 Jefferson Avenue. We're actually in Suite K and Suite M. We do have a beauty salon. The beauty salon is under QK Beauty Salon. QK Barber Salon, But we welcome you here. You're more than welcome to come down and take a look at what we have. I'm sure we have something for probably every member of the family when it comes down to hair care. As well as our MENIFEE location. Our location over there is at 29787 Antelope Road, and we're in Suite 107. If you're familiar with MENIFEE, we're right off of Newport and Antelope, and we're right next door to Barron's and Canes. So if you're looking for us, we're over there. And I want to help meet your beauty needs, but more than anything else, we want to help connect with you and let you know that, hey, we're here.
Wow.
We're here.
I'm so happy that you came on the show. Thank you so much for coming on the Kf&Jf podcast show. You know what, guys? We really thank you guys for taking the time to watch, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you, and don't forget, stay blessed.